How's it going, everyone? I'm Scott, the owner of Mindset Barbell Club, and this is going to be your Business Monday. So what we're going to talk about is some common obstacles that people have when joining a gym. Obviously, one of the biggest ones is going to be cost. So when you have a local gym, one of the biggest issues that you run into is what's commonly called a race to the bottom. So here you have us, Ironside Barbell Club. We are pretty much at the tippy top as far as gym costs is concerned. Even our regular open gym membership is more expensive than most places. Now you have Planet Fitness right down here at the very bottom. And the problem is when you have such a disparity in Planet Fitness, and where the way Planet Fitness makes their money is they have 60,000 members and they're all paying $10 a month. So you have that volume, but you also have a huge overhead operating cost. With that operating cost, a lot of the profit gets eaten up. So even though they might be grossing $600,000 in revenue, that doesn't mean that they're making $600,000 a month. Trust me, they're making quite a bit. But when you factor in the leased equipment, the space, because it's always prime retail space, so it's the most expensive. You're talking about your licensing fees, so you have to factor in the name of Planet Fitness, and then you're talking about even things like the credit card processing fee. So I'm sure they get a bulk rate. It's probably less than 2%, but still, when you look at 2% of $10 and you add it up, you're gonna have all of these costs. Taxes. So really, when you really look at where we are, Planet Fitness, even though it is the least expensive option, that doesn't mean that they have a huge margin. They exist on teeny tiny margins. That's their business model. But you have something like ISBC, where most of our equipment has no overhead. It's all bought and paid for. It's all equipment that is going to last a long time. It's all equipment that is serviceable and is easily replaceable. I don't have treadmills. I don't have any sort of electronic equipment. I have one cable machine, and it's a bunch of barbells, dumbbells, and kettlebells, which people are pretty respectful of anyways. So we have very low overhead, and what's the initial reaction when you open up a business is to look at where you are and where your largest competitors are. And obviously my largest competitor, for lack of a better term, is Planet Fitness, and it is tempting to price myself to race to the bottom. And I see a lot of gyms, a lot of local gyms actually doing this, where they give out a whole bunch of free things. They give out a whole bunch of, free months and day pass and take a week free and do all this. Yes. Well, then you go potty and close the door. Thanks. That's what having a small business is all about. So here at ISBC, I could say, okay, everyone's gonna come in for $10 a month, but when you look at it, I don't have the space, so we're at a premium space. We are 3,000 square foot compared to the 40,000 square foot. I also, my mission is different. So when you create a business, you have to have a mission statement and a vision. Our vision is hit your target, okay? Planet Fitness is fitness for all, or something along those lines. They have a very low barrier to entry as far as getting into a Planet Fitness. You have to have a pulse and a bank account, and there you go. But here, because we are priced at a higher rate, what we expect is our members to come in and actually put in the work. I want my classes to be filled, because those classes that are filled build more people, more word of mouth, more referrals. More people that come in and enjoy our services, the more people that see results from our services, the better it is going to be for the long run in our company. And we talked about last week, retention versus recruitment. So we are heavily based on retention as opposed to recruitment. Planet Fitness is the opposite. So what does that have to do with running a business? Well, pricing is going to be one of your most important factors. Right now, and it was a lot of big experiments, and it always will be, we reached a point in our pricing where I think we're pretty much not getting into that shock factor. So when you first come into the market, you have zero name and all you have is your personal reputation, or perhaps the reputation of the people that are training with you, and you're showing a quick bit of results. People will get sticker shock. People will say, well, why are you so expensive? And then as you gain a reputation and more people start to see results and more people start to see progress, you find that fine line of being, we are here in our market the most expensive gym, but then we are also priced not so expensive that people look at us and say, you're crazy, I'm never going to pay that much. Because what we do is a specialty, and what we offer is a specialty, and you have to pay a specialty premium when it comes to it. So we cannot afford to race to the bottom. We have to stay competitive against Planet Fitness. And there's a lot of the other local gyms that are trying to emulate the Planet Fitness model and racing to the Planet Fitness price, the LA Fitness price. You don't have that much of a budget. Like I certainly don't have that much of a marketing budget. I don't have a $10,000 a month marketing budget, $15,000 a month marketing budget to where I can reach out to 60,000 people a month in order to. And we're back. What we were talking about before was before the battery died. We were talking about how the difference in our mottos, right? Hit your target versus Fitness for All, LA Fitness. I don't really remember what theirs is, but that's really what comes down to is like their corporate memo, their corporate vision is more for corporate corporation as opposed to, more for their stockholders as opposed to people that are actually coming to the gym. Sure, they might have a motto that encompasses what they do, but they don't push it to the forefront because their vision is getting their shares out and getting their money made. Our vision here at Ironsight is hit your target and also medicine for movement, because we focus on a more holistic type of activity. We spend a lot more time focusing on our current customers as opposed to reaching out and recruiting. So also a lot of the local gyms, what they're trying to do is they're trying to recreate this Planet Fitness motto, this Planet Fitness business plan by bringing in a whole bunch of other people, which in the long run really, when you race to the bottom, and you see this a lot today with Walmart, with Amazon, with a lot of like Toys R Us going out of business, is when you race the bottom with someone who's larger than you are and can afford to sustain themselves for a longer period of time, you are never going to win in the long run. We pride ourselves on the activities that we do here because we are in the service of customer service, and that's the main difference. So yes, you can go to Planet Fitness, but are you going to hit your goals while you're there? Some people do, but most people don't. And that's why we fill a niche within the market. And I think a lot of brick and mortar places are moving towards that idea where it's not a one-stop fits all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Walmart in the next 10 years does not exist. That would not surprise me at all. I mean, you look at something like Toys R Us, they were huge. I mean, there was no competition. You had KB Toys, you had maybe a couple other specialty toy shops, but now they're out of business. They are gone. There is a bunch of empty stores that during Halloween become, you know, Halloween stores, but because they tried to compete with the convenience of Amazon, who could do it cheaper and better and faster, and people now, unless they're going for a personalized service, they don't necessarily need that product right then and there, right off the shelf. So you have to create a different type of atmosphere. You have to create a different type of business plan. I left this up here because this is part of what we're going through. Just finding out market research, right? So even something fun like this, you look at what these people are writing and then you tailor your advertisements to that. Sure, it looks, you know, fun to get one step closer to your best self, to look good naked, to begin like a gangster. You know, you parse obviously people want to look good naked, and obviously, you know, you come to a gym and you hope to make some strength gains, but you have to parse through these things. And for me, this time, you have to extrapolate, like why weren't you able to do it last time? What stopped you? What service can we fill that it gets you to where you need to go? So we can't compete with Planet Fitness, we can't compete with LA Fitness, and honestly I don't want to. I don't need to have 40 people in the gym at any given time. That would be pretty cool, and I'd really like to see that, but that would preclude us actually expanding. That's where, when we get too large, then we need to expand, and that brings up a whole host of headaches. So right now we're very slim and we're very streamlined. We're getting close to being able to be sustainable, and it's only our first 6 months, and that thankfully comes with our higher price point. That's the reason that we create that higher price point, is because the services that we offer and everything that comes along with it, the personal touch, the knowing who you are, and not just being one of the faceless masses where you get this stale customer service smile, or we're trying to upsell you on something. We've already included all of our services into one price. There is no upsell. The upsell is the membership. So once people understand that and understand the value of our membership and why it's basically personal, we talked about it earlier, where we talked about it last week, where our membership deal, you know, the unlimited classes, you're basically getting personal training each month for $150 a month, and which is a slamming deal, because you can come to as many classes as you want. They're all small group classes. We don't do any large group classes, and you get a ton of perks that go along with that. So you create that value not just with your price point, but you also have to create that value and have your customers and your potential members come in and understand it. So that's really what I wanted to talk to you about today, as far as business models and why we are so different than Planet Fitness, and why you shouldn't race to the bottom. And this is for any industry, because there is a large corporation that is out there that is going to do it better, and they're going to do it faster, and they're going to do it cheaper. So you have to create the atmosphere where someone is going to want to choose your platform over someone else's. It doesn't matter what business that you're in. I think boutique clothing stores are going to make a big resurgence. I think that in the long term, you know, we talked about toy stores. I think boutique toy stores and hard to find toy stores are going to do very well, because you're not going to be able to find the mass-produced things anymore. You're going to want the smaller, more personalized customer service. In fact, you see it now where there's a big resurgence in the board games. There's a big resurgence in that kind of camaraderie and community that you can't get online. That's what people want. Ultimately, that's what people want, is our community. You can't get a community here. You're just one person in a sea of people, in a sea of 60,000. So that is where Planet Fitness tries to figure out how to reach up to us, but they can't do it because they have to serve so many different people. So really, and you don't want to get stuck in this no man's land of being mediocre at everything, right? You want to excel at something. So either excel at building a community, excel at bringing a very specialized thing into your market, or appeal to everybody and have huge overhead and also have a huge market share. I think as time goes on, it's just going to get hyper polarized like that, especially because the Amazon is leading the way, first $1 trillion company, and now it's a juggernaut, and you have to adapt or die is really what it comes down to. So that's going to be it for today. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that little notification key, and then we'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Bye.